So, Black Butler Season 5 is over, and I have thoughts. A lot of thoughts. And for some reason, people out there like to hear my opinions, so here is a little review. Which originally I wanted to do per episode, but then I realized that that will be too much work to make a video about each episode each week. I just thought it was too much for me, so yeah, I didn't really want to half-ass anything. So therefore, I have instead made it one video, where I just talk about my overall opinion. Keep in mind though, that there will be spoilers for the entirety of the Green Witch arc, as well as some aspects of the Kuroshitsuji manga which may have not been animated yet. If you haven't watched that arc yet, or haven't read the Kuroshitsuji manga, and you care too much about spoilers, now is your chance to click off. Enjoy! I say that the anime of the Green Witch arc was a really good adaptation. Cloverworks understood their assignment. The emotional moments hit even harder than they did in the manga somehow. And yeah, Maya Sakamoto and Daisuke Ono really gave it their all. And that's not even mentioning the voice actors of Sieglinde and Wolfram. Sullivan's voice had so much emotion in it, and that the moment where she was sad actually made me sad too. Oh yeah, I'm talking about the Japanese dub, not the English one. Although there are pretty good voice actors, particularly Brina and Wolfram's voice actor, I thought they were pretty good, which says a lot coming from the fact that I usually don't like English dubs, so yeah, the English dub was generally dog shit though, which can be said for most of the Black Butler English dub, which I might make a video about that in and of itself, but I especially have beef with J. Michael Tatum.
Endless homophobia.
Friend of the channel, of course. Yes, it is Michael Tatum slander time. Even my friends who prefer the English dub, skill issue, agree that Michael Tatum is not as passionate this season as he used to be. He sounds so stale, like he's just reading the script and that's about it. Like, it does not hit the way the first season did, or Book of Circus did. Personally, I'm taking my friend's word for it because, you know, I don't like the English dub at all, but according to my friends, it has been getting worse since season 4 already. Frankly, I only heard the opinions from my friends when it comes to that. At least that was until I came across this clip from Tumblr.
Besides, my lord, your compact frame does allow for a rather uncanny aesthetic performance of the Emerald Witch. I see no reason to end your dalliance with femininity so soon. To you, my lady.
Yeah, somehow that sounds a bit worse than I expected. I will note though that I'm not exactly surprised that Tatum's ability to voice act Sebastian has deteriorated. From the way he talks about Sebastian, it's pretty clear that he knows nothing about the character he's voicing. He's also very anti-Sebastiel. And considering how sexually charged this arc has been between them in particular, I won't be surprised if it likely gave him whiplash. In fact, I actually joked with my friends before, like, you know, considering that he is an anti, isn't it, like, wouldn't it be funny if we saw how he reacts to the Green Witch arc? But yeah, I won't be surprised that that's the arc he's like the least passionate about, but like, it's going to get worse from here. At this point, I'm just really wondering why he still works on Black Butler. It's clear that there is no passion whatsoever and that he in fact dislikes it. My friends who have seen him have told me that he has been dodging any Black Butler related questions while being more passionate about like any other thing he has been a part of. I've also heard that his view on the series has likely soured because Sebastiel shippers were harassing him, and frankly, with how many toxic Sebastiel shippers I have seen, I'm not going to rule out that possibility. And I am not going to doubt that's likely what happened. And this is also why I am a bit more sympathetic towards him than I was in my last video about him. What I will say though is that regardless, he shouldn't be using his platform to alienate what is basically the biggest portion of the fandom. And I am at the risk of sounding very harsh, but if you're going to voice act the titular character of a Shotokan Predator-Prey anime, don't be surprised that the fandom is full of Shotokans who ship the Predator and the Prey. Again, the Green Witch arc specifically has a lot of sexually charged moments. I mean, like, we literally have Siekelinda asking these two for a threesome. Like, come on. But it's even going to get worse from here. Like, considering that Tatum clearly hates the kind of relationship that Sebastian and Ciel have going on, he's clearly not a target audience. I don't think he should be watching Kuroshitsuji, let alone voice a character in it, let alone the literal face of the series. Also, for the love of God, please do not let this man speak any foreign languages. His German was terrible.
Haben Sie jemals einen der fluchten Menschen gesehen?
Anyway, Michael Tatum's slander time is over. One thing I want you guys to take away from this is that this is no way an attack on Michael Tatum as a person. He could be a genuinely nice person outside, but I do genuinely think he needs to step away from Black Butler, considering he very clearly hates it. But now, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Anyway, don't let this make you think that I dislike all English voice actors in the series. Again, I think that Brina Palencia did a lovely job. She, of course, is the saving grace. I've been dying on this hill for a while. It's just that she is not enough for me to ignore the shitty voice acting of Michael Tatum.
Endless homophobia.
It's just also that nothing tops the Japanese voice acting, you know. Speaking of which, Daisuke Ono really did his best performance in that one. I think his German was also really good, and my German-speaking friends agree, so I take their word for it too. That being said, voice acting aside, there are of course other noteworthy things about the season. There's a lot I liked, and a few things that I disliked. So, let's start with a positive. I think that in general, it is an excellent adaptation again. They have done an amazing job being faithful to the manga. From Ciel's struggles communicating in Germany, which I could also very well relate to, by the way, when I was visiting my friend last Christmas. I could also very much relate to having to turn to said friend to basically translate everything for me that I come across. By the way, if you're watching this, thank you for that, and also thank you for the good time in general. Hopefully we can do it again. Anyway, I also love the scene where Sullivan asked Sebastian and Ciel for a threesome. I thought it was really funny. I also thought it was funny because normies were complaining about it, because it seems they finally realized what kind of anime they are watching. All I can say is, I told you so. The Yaoi Cauldron scene was also great, and so was the tentacle scene, and I also adored the dead twin reveal. I also love the fact that he was voiced by a different person from our Ciel's voice actor. Some people didn't like it because it was supposed to be a subtle hint to the twists at the time, but honestly I don't think that it is really needed at this point, because everyone and their mother already knows about the dead twin. I don't think the fandom really did a good job at hiding it anyway when it did come out. So yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a problem. I thought the fighting scenes were badass too. I loved seeing the servants in action. And the ending of the season was beautiful. Like, I really liked the way it ended on a positive note. It was really nice and definitely rewarding after all those sad moments. Like, I will be lying if I said that some scenes didn't make me cry. I realized though that I neglected to mention this, but I also really loved the opening and the ending of the season. Like, they are my favorite opening and ending of Kuroshitsuji yet. Nothing tops Monochrono Kiss though. それでも一つの愛の形は探すのよ Oh yeah, Girl was also great, even though her appearance is short. It was good, I enjoyed it, she's great, and I also liked the Shinigami lore that was introduced there. I mean, the thing is, I already know about this. I have read the manga. But jeez, it just hits different when you see it come to life in like animation form, if that makes sense. But that's all for the positives. It's time to talk about my beefs. It's a very few though, and I don't think that it is necessarily the fault of Cloverworks. Like, I'm not one of the people who cries about how it looks nothing like season 1, while in the same breath also crying about how it looks nothing like the manga, solely because some scenes are differently, translated, if that makes sense. Hey, just so you know, it's an adaptation. It's not supposed to be a... It's not supposed to be a one-on-one replica of the manga. And I must say though, Cloverworks has actually been one of the more faithful in their adaptations to the manga than A1 was. Like, again, I'm not going to blame Cloverworks for the problems in the anime canon that clearly were caused by A1. They've left out many important details, like Lizzie having suspicions about Ciel's identity since Campania, and the lack of Nina. Like, yeah, Nina was supposed to appear in the Book of Circus. That's where she appeared in the manga. I'm glad Cloverworks did her justice though. I was worried they would completely retcon her existence from the anime, and I'm so glad that they didn't. And she is as slaying as ever. Anyway, that's about it for this video. I hope you liked it. And if you'd like to see more BL and anime related videos, please subscribe. It's mostly Black Butler content though, to be honest. But I will talk about other stuff if I feel like it. But maybe check out my Ko-fi too, and I'll see you another day. Bye!